Brush any Bible, apocrypha, pen, pad, highlighter, pens, and pencils. Right? We're back at it. Oh, we live. Okay, that's all right. Shalom, everybody in the classroom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Everybody online. Shalom. Right? It's another Sabbath service. Get a Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Shalom, Mizrael. Right, brother Naquan.
Shalom, brother Amos.
All right, another Sabbath service giving all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushai, Hamashiach the righteous. We're back at it again with a Sabbath service, double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in the truth before us decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. Hearty shalom to you mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake and pushing this truth. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there as of yet on the highways and byways, but they're working on it, getting built up in the spirit, praying fast and studying and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Shalom to the Aqua, the sisters out there, reverencing their husbands, keeping the commandments, and being righteous in the last days.
Like the brother said, Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the class and who's joining us online. Welcome back to the main channel. The main channel was shut down for a minute, right? But Esau can't stop this word. Going to keep going out like a flood, right? Like we always go into it, we're going to start off with Acts chapter 18 and verse 4.
This is the book of Acts chapter 18 and verse 4, right? Acts chapter 18 and 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right, the Lord has granted us another Sabbath to come back to him, for those who know that they're Israel, to repent, right? Get your spirit right for the next week if the Lord allows you to see it. And for those just finding out that they're Israel, right? To repent, to come back to serving our God, to find out what it truly means to be Israel, to find out what it truly means to love your brother, right? To love the nation of Israel, right? And the only way we can do that is through Philippians 4:13.
It's the book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 13. Right, this Philippians chapter 4 and 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me.
Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we're able to cast down these false doctrines, stand bold for the word of the Lord, get the proper understanding by going precept upon precept, right? Being able to stand strong and bold for the word, right? So we're going back to 1 Peter, right? The 4th chapter, right? This is the Apocalypse in Peter, part 4, right? And those who missed it last week, we did it on Instagram Live because both the channels were down. Right, so we're doing 1 Peter, the 4th chapter.
1 Peter chapter 4 and 1. For as much then as Hamashiach hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. But he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
God. So it says, for as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself, meaning be prepared to withstand the same temptation, the same chastisement that the Lord has went through, right? Like I always say, anything worthwhile having, you got to work for. It's not given easily. So arm yourself, prepare yourself, get ready for the things that are going to come, right? We could go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. We can go to verse 2. Right, so you got to arm yourself, meaning prepare yourself, right? Mentally prepare yourself for what's coming to this world, right? We know Esau's going to crack down, right? We know that they're going to push some type of, they may force you to get the vaccine, right? A cashless society.
Maxine.
Salaki, Maxine.
That's all right.
Maxine, injection, right? I forgot. Yeah, a jab. Yes. Right, they may force something on you, Lord, when they didn't hear it. Right? You never know what's going to happen, right? So we're going to make sure that we're arming ourselves, getting ourselves ready, right? Mentally, so we don't fall. And in that hour of temptation, we can stand bold for the Lord.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 to verse 2. It reads, we'll start at 1.
Come on, we started 1.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Right. So this is the Lord Commander Edris to write these things because these are faithful and true. What's about to happen to the world? You can see it playing out before you, right? Jake is playing checkers, right? But the so-called white man is playing chess, right? But in the vice versa, the so-called white man is playing checkers and the Lord is playing chess. He getting him lined up for destruction. That man of perdition is being revealed.
Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Right? So you can't have these fears of what's going to happen, right? You can't sit there and cloud your mind with doubt. You can't sit there and cloud your mind with things that you can't control, right? Because if the Lord is with you, who can be against you? Who's going to cast you down if the Lord is with you, right? That's why Psalms 34:7 says, the angel of the Lord encampeth around those that fear him. So if you fear the Lord, if you keep the commandments, you keep in the brotherly love, you keep in the faith, your charity is waxing mighty in these last days, who's going to cast you down? Nobody but the Lord, if it be his will, man.
I got a precept. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and 1, right? That's what 1 Peter 4 says, for as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin. So we got to understand when you come into this truth, it's not always going to be easy. Right? We was talking about that before the lesson. Sometimes we got to learn the hard way. All right, so let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 1. Okay. Right, so right chapter, and everybody needs to know this. This should be highlighted in everybody's apocryphal, man. Right, from like 2 chapter verse 1 all the way through about 15, man. You should have that whole thing highlighted. That's one of the fundamental precepts that every brother and sister should know.
The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Yeah. If you come to serve the Lord, expect to go through trials. Expect to catch hell, man. Right? Like with anything, man. When you get a job, like we always use the example, if you get a job for Burger King, prepare your soul to flip those burgers, man. Prepare your soul to say, how may I take your order? Prepare your soul to clean the bathrooms. You might have somebody throw something at you behind the counter. It might be a fight in there. Right? You got to prepare your soul for that, man, because you understand, okay, I'm working in the fast food spot. These are the things that I have to deal with. These are the things that I should expect. When you coming into the scriptures and you're reading about the Bible and learning your nationality, the Most High is expecting you to what? Prepare yourself for certain temptations, right? Like what? You may come into this knowledge and now you know that you can't eat what? Pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Next thing you know, you got your woman telling you, come on, let's order some crab legs today. Come on, let's get some beef, some pork bacon, right? Now you have to understand, hold on now. Then it may be a conflict. She may say, if you don't love me, why don't you love me anymore? Right? You're not your old self. You don't do the things you used to do. That's temptation. Trying to make you feel bad for keeping the commandments, man. You have to prepare yourself for temptation. Right? Go on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
No, give up and wax faint.
And constantly endure.
So you have to constantly endure, right? You have to constantly endure. Rather it's mental stress. Again, rather you're dealing with particular evil spirits, demons, right? You understand it may be a job getting on you, family separated from you. You can't say, well, oh, man, my family separated from me. I guess it's time to go back in the world. Maybe this isn't the truth. No, that's what the truth comes with, man. Constantly endure, right?
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Yeah, make not haste in time of trouble. Like if you work for Burger King and your first day, you have to flip 30 burgers. Hey, don't quit that day, man. Right? Oh, I quit. I can't take it no more. No, you have to endure that affliction, man. Right? If you want to excel or you want some type of promotion, then guess what? You have to endure the hardships for a while. Right? So being in this truth, there are hardships that we have to go through as men and as women. You have to constantly endure. Right? This is going to be a battle, like we bring up. This is the condition of the battle. Right? Every one of us have a particular battle that we're dealing with. Right? A lot of men, you may not want to confess what your battle is or what you're dealing with, but we're all dealing with something internally, man. And you have to constantly go to war with your inner self and overcome. It's a daily thing too. And the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians, I die daily, man. Right? So let's go on.
Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Right. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
See that? Whatever is brought upon you, take cheerfully. Right? Again, I'm gonna keep using this so-called fast food joint restaurant analogy, man. If they tell you, look, you got to scrub them bathrooms and somebody just defecated by the toilet, guess what you got to deal with? That's part of your job. You need that money. You got to pay rent. You got to pay bills, right? You may have a son or a daughter at home. That's the only job you can have. Guess what? You have to take it cheerfully. Whatever's brought upon you, again, it can be spiritual, it can be mental, it can be financial. In this truth, take it cheerfully and rejoice, right? Why? Because the Most High is dealing with you. Right? That's the point that a lot of people don't understand. When you catch hell in the world, that's just judgment and affliction. But in this truth, that's the Lord proving you and dealing with you.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Yeah, when you're in the lower state, be patient, right? When you're going at the bottom, when you're at rock bottom, be patient. You can't give up. You can't say, I want to. You got people that they commit suicide, man. Oh man, my bank account's drawn out. It's gone, right? Then people doing that during the Great Depression, jumping out of buildings, man, because their bank account went from $20,000 to zero overnight. Guess what? Them Edomites, they couldn't take it, man. They was jumping out of skyscrapers, writing the wills to their loved ones, right? Whatever's brought upon you, you have to take it cheerfully, man. You may be without a job for 7 months, 8 months, and it's true, 9 months, right? You can't say, well, maybe I'm not an Israelite. I might be an Edomite. No, you can't think like that, man. You have to say, okay, this is the Most High proving me, put me through the furnace to see if I'm going to still believe and endure. I'm going to take it cheerfully. That's why it's important to stay in prayer, right? If you stay in prayer, that's a beautiful thing because that's your power source with the Most High. It's as if your phone is plugged up to the charger. If your phone's not plugged up to the charger, it's going to die. And it don't die instantly. It's a period. It happens over time. Right, your phone dies out over time. 1 minute is 100%. You had it out the charger, you've been using it. Next thing you know, it's on 10%. Right, but if you keep it charged up, you keep that power going. That's what prayer does for us. Right, keeps that power going with the Most High. And you can't just pray once a day. And you can't just pray when something good is going your way. A lot of brothers only pray when you get that job, or you might have got that car you wanted.
When food's in front of you.
Yeah, when food's in front of you, you might just pray over food. You got to pray in season, out of season. Let's get that real quick in 1 Thessalonians 5:17. You got to pray in season, out of season. You got to pray when you got fired from that job. You still got to be in prayer. You got to pray when you catching hell, man. You might get into it with your woman, right? You might get into an argument with your wife. You should constantly be praying. Nothing and nobody should stop you from praying to the Most High. Guess what? Yahweh Shah prayed, man. There was times when he prayed all night, literally all night, right?
So let's read that, King.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17. Pray without ceasing.
See that? Pray without ceasing, man. Right? You should challenge yourself to pray more in this thing, man. You might pray once a day over your food. God, thank you for the food. Amen. Then you eat crab legs and unclean food, man. The Lord said you can't eat those things. Those are an abomination. And we're a holy people. Those are the bottom feeders. Those are scavengers. Right? The Lord sanctified us and made us a holy people. So when you're praying, it should be without ceasing, right? David said in Psalms chapter 119 and 164, 7 times a day do I praise thee. He did that 7 times a day, right? A lot of brothers don't even thank the Most High for waking them up. Why you ain't wake me up sooner, Lord? You know I'm late for work. That's what brothers be saying, man. You know it's going to be traffic, Lord. Can't stand. That's wicked, man. Right?
Verse 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah concerning you.
So in everything give thanks, right? You alive, give thanks to the Lord, man. Right? You allowed to see your family, give thanks to the Lord, man. You're allowed to have health and turn the pages, right? Give thanks to the Lord, man. You know about the Most High, man. Give thanks to the Lord. You know how many people looking for answers, looking for the truth, and it's presented right before you? Give thanks to the Lord, man. You know?
Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 1. Right? That's very important, man. You should always give thanks, no matter what circumstance, no matter what condition, no matter what's going on. You thank the Most High. Because I guarantee you it's another brother or another sister up the street, down the road in another state going through 7 times worse than what you're going through. Right? You thank the Lord when you're in the lower state. Right? This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 1. Wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of Yahweh, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Yahweh Shai, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith. Right? So they left and they went to Athens, but they left a faithful and devout brother there to establish you and comfort you in your faith. Right? Everybody has their faith tested sometimes. Everybody does. Right? So you got to be around brothers who are sincere, brothers who can build you up, brothers who will give you sound wisdom, right? Speak thus saith the Lord to you in your lower state, right? Because a good friend is like medicine, right? Paraphrasing it, right? When I'm low in the spirit and a brother called me out of nowhere, right? I already know it's the Most High, right? A good friend is as medicine, right? Verse 3, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. Right, so you can't be moved by these afflictions that you're catching. Right, your job say you've been late 3 times this week, you suspended 2 weeks, right? Or they say that we don't need you anymore, we're downsizing. Right, you can't be moved by these things. Right, these things happen, man. Right, and you know that this is gonna happen to you when you come into the truth. Right, the Lord wants to see who's really with Him, who's gonna be long suffering, who's not going to doubt, who's not going to faint, who's not going to fold. The Lord want to know who the real soldiers are. Who's coming to serve Him in truth and sincerity. Right, verse 4. Verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it come to pass that you know. Right, so you already been forewarned. Right, you read the scriptures, you see the tribulation and the hell our forefathers caught. Well, guess what? It's coming to y'all too, man. So y'all got to gird up your loins and prepare and endure as men. And likewise to the women. Right, gird your loins and endure as our righteous foremothers. Right, prepare yourself. Right, it's not peaches and cream when you come into this truth, man. Right, you are outcast now. Right, you got a target on your back. So what you got to do? You got to walk with the Lord in all that you do.
That's right. So we can go back to 1 Peter. Right, we're back in 1 Peter chapter 4 and 2. Hey, Slakia, real quick and tell you that Yahweh Shai was made perfect in sufferings, man. Right? That's what perfected the Lord, pursuing the Hebrews, the 2nd chapter.
God. Verse 2 in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, verse 2. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Yahweh.
Yeah, and that's how we got to be.
Right? We have to be as Yahweh Shai, right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2 and 21. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, 21.
1 Peter chapter 2 and 21. For even hereunto were you called, because Yahweh Shai also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps.
So everything that the Lord went through, we have to follow those steps. So in 1 Peter the 4th chapter, it said 1 Peter 4 and 2 again, it says that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God. What is the lust of men? Right? Mike, give me an example of the lust of men.
Women.
I mean, what about women? Because having a wife is all right, chasing women, fornication, adultery,
Access money.
right? Yeah, the love of money. That's the lust of men. Right? The Lord didn't live according to the lust of men. We're going to give some examples of the lust of men. Let's read them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, freeze up.
I got you. But we can keep going.
All right, let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 4 and 3. So we cannot live according to the lust of men, but according to the will of God. This society advocates lust, man. All America promote is sex, weed, drugs, having fun, good time, partying, right? They got pornography, right? They got strip clubs, prostitutes. You can get drunk any time of the day, right? Nobody can tell you drinking. Anything goes down in society. They got subliminal messages. They got all types of sorcery here, man. Right? So this society is not set up to build you up spiritually, but it's for you to indulge in the flesh, right? So you can feel good. You can do what you want. You can eat what you want. Anybody can do what they want in America. Nobody's calling the shots and regulating, saying, hold on, now you can't do that. And the Lord said, no, that's a sin. Now you can't commit adultery. They got songs saying "I'ma steal your girl," man. Mrs. Trey Songz, man. Like we always bring out the damn Usher. Don't leave your girl around me, man. True. People make songs like that. And anybody gonna tell Usher, when is the president gonna come up and say, Usher, you know, that's a sin, you know, don't leave your girl, look, that's adultery, Leviticus 20:10. Did they come out and say that? I think Bush was president at that time. Did he come out and say that? And it's State of the Union. Look, Usher, that's adultery. And then look, you know, Kobe Bryant, you know, you got these tattoos, that's wicked, man. You can't do it. Did George Bush not doing that, man? He didn't do that back then. Biden's not going to come out and tell you to keep God's commandments, right?
Verse 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
Meaning we used to live like the other nations, right? Go on.
When we walked in lasciviousness.
What is lasciviousness? Does anybody know what lasciviousness is? You got by show of hands. There you go. Always having evil sexual lust and desires. That's lasciviousness. A woman walk past and all hell break loose in your mind. Oh, what would I do with that? Right? How she get all that back there? That's off, man. You shouldn't be thinking about that, man. Right? You sitting there fantasizing, you addressing people with their eyes, you thinking about how to have sex with this woman and that woman and that woman. That's lasciviousness. You're supposed to keep your mind pure. Your mind should be focused on the commandments, man. Right? But the Lord said, Slaki, the Lord said the time past of our life, we used to do that. Right? We up here teaching, there are things that we have done that we're ashamed of, though we repented from it. And we don't indulge in those things anymore. Right?
Lust.
Yeah, lust. Let's go to Romans 7. Right? Lust can be anything. Lust is really covetousness. You can lust after another man's wife. You can lust after a car. You can lust after money. You can lust after a job. Right? You can lust after anything, man. Right?
Let's get that Romans 7:7.
Romans 7:7.
God.
Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law has said, thou shalt not covet.
See that?
Covet is lusting is covetousness. People do all types of lust, man. And I'm just being real. People do all types of stuff, man. Right? I don't have to go into the details of lust. Right? But you can't be out here lusting after stuff, man. Right? Like the brother J. Cole had the song, he fell in love with a photograph. That's lust. How do you fall in love with a photograph? Oh, I don't know your name. Thinking about you. Right? That's lust, man. A brother and his wife walk past, he don't know what to do with that. I could treat her better. That's lust, man. Right? You don't want to be a lustful man. Right? You should be content with the Lord blessed you with. Right? Being content is not something that this society promotes. This is America's a sedentary, superfluous society, man. Where you can consume and consume and consume and just keep buying and there's no limits, and whatever your heart wants, you can get it. Right? There is no limits here, man. Right? But you have limitations with the Most High. You know?
Salaki, and they inbred lust into you at an early age, man. They put all those commercials out. Remember when we was younger, they had all the commercials of the new toys. And then somebody else get it, now you want to take his toy. Right? They bred that into you when you're young. Then you got sex ed, where you got a nasty white man teaching you about touching your body and what you should like. Right? They bred this stuff into us at a young age.
Christmas list.
Yeah, Christmas list. Right? They had this show called Sweet 16 with the spoiled kids. They got these big old mansion parties. Right? They bred this stuff into you. If anybody going to teach my children about the anatomies of their body and how it works, it's going to be the head of the household,
right?
Which is me.
Right.
I ain't going to let no pervert point at a penis on the board and tell them what's going on. Like, they bred this stuff into us at a young age. Right? So this is deprogramming yourself from Babylon. And it's hard, brothers. I know it's hard. I know it's hard as hell, man, but we got to fight the good fight, man. Right? A brother said to me before, I'm going to go back to
what do you think?
A brother said to me before, when a woman walk past you, you should look at her as your sister or your mother. Nothing more, nothing less. And that'll help a lot of brothers, man. So when you see a sister, Look at her as your your mother or your sister. That's how you got to look at these sisters, man. Anything less, you in sin, man. Because now covetousness is coming on, right? Now you got this lasciviousness. Now lust is overtaking you when all that's conceived, it brings forth death, right? So you got to condition your mind, man. You got to be disciplined.
Quick precept.
1 Timothy chapter 5, 1 and 2. Right, quick linking up with that. Here a little and there a little. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. All purity. Don't be looking at women, oh man, I gotta get me another body. That's what Jake think in the world, man. Right? I have one Monday, I have one Tuesday, Wednesday, when Friday come around, it's going down. Going to the club, Keisha gonna be there. She gonna bring Toya and damn Dana with her, right? And I'm gonna bring my mans, and then we're gonna do this. We're gonna get all our brothers wanna do now is roll a blunt. That's all our brothers talk about, man. That's all we smell at the harbor. Blunts and cigarettes, man. Right? You got these young girls out here walking up the harbor, they 8 years old, man, with their body all up. I mean, no more than 10 years old. You got no clothes on. You know, I don't know what's going on, man. Then you got old creepy man looking at you. Why is he looking at me? What do you mean, why is he looking at you? Right? So this society is wicked. They don't have a dress code in this society. They don't have no limits. You can do and excel in any wickedness that you want to do. But the scriptures are telling us that we have to change. Right? The beautiful thing about the scriptures, it shows you and rightly divides what's wicked and what's righteous. So you can look at your life and say, okay, these things are ungodly according to the Most High, and you can see the negative effects of these things. There's nothing positive about being lustful, unless you're just thinking about your flesh and what feels good. There's nothing positive about whoring your sisters out, right? There's nothing positive about laying with this woman and laying with that woman and laying with that woman and laying with that woman. They don't know what love is. You're not showing them what it means to be a husband, showing them what it means to be a wife. They just being whored out. Now by the next time the man married you, she didn't have sex with 15 men. Right? You done dealt with like 30 women. Right? Your wife is supposed to be a virgin according to the Bible. That's the law. She the only woman you're supposed to lay with from the time that she lay with a man to the time y'all go up and give up the spirit. But again, this society, you can do what you want to do, man. They got hot girl summers, right? Y'all heard the song with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. You hear what they rapping about? Y'all heard that one? Yeah, yo, don't listen to it.
Don't.
Yeah, don't listen to that. That's bad. Right? They got there you go, the city girls, man. You hear them on the radio. You know, this is madness, man. But you gotta get me a city girl. Gotta get me a city girl. You got young sisters, that's what they listening to on the radio. They listen to the city girls. That's their influence. That's their role model instead of Mary, Martha, Esther, Judith. So this society is off.
I got a priest left. Right. 1 Peter 4 and continuing 3. Excess of wine, revilings.
Yeah, excess of wine. What's excess of wine? Getting drunk. You got brothers walking around with Hennessy bottles. Right? What we drinking on tonight? You got brothers sipping and drinking drunk. I call this death. Sitting there mixing vodka and Hennessy. Right? Naming your different drinks. You don't want to be a brother that's always drunk, especially if you got a family. That's what you're going to teach your son and daughter. Right? You can't function. You can't defend your household. You can't defend your family. You can't operate. You can't take nobody nowhere. You don't want to be a brother that's always drunk. It's okay to drink, but in moderation and in season. Right? Don't crack open that bottle of Hennessy. It's 3 a.m. You got to be at work at 5. You missed the bus. Right? You ended up in somewhere damn drunk, man. Hey, my grandfather broke in somebody's house and got shot because he was drunk, man. Right? You didn't walk to somebody's house and got jammed up. Right? And the Most High could do that to you. Oh, Salaki. And we got revelings, Salaki. Does the brother know what reveling is? Yeah, it goes into fights, altercations, brawlings, right? Brothers fighting, man, and outside the club, they taking their shirt off, You got women fighting at the gas station, pulling each other weave out. Right? That's revelries. These are all things we used to do in the world. We used to get into fights. We used to be out there getting drunk, into lust. But these are the things we used to do in time past. And as we read these things, you got to examine yourself and say, am I really doing these things? Am I still a lustful man? Do I still get drunk? Right? Am I argumentative? Do I have patience in my spirit? Right, go on.
Oh, so I can just read on.
And banqueting and abominable idolatries. What is banqueting? What's the modern day banqueting? Like strip clubs, right? The parties that end at 4 a.m. And you go to a party with your woman, you can't find her. She coming downstairs with the next dude. What are you doing? Nothing. Okay, right? I love you. Yeah, I know. Then you go home, man. That's what happens in these parties, man. People come up missing, fights break out. There's been some wild stuff that happened at parties when I was back in the world, man. All types of stuff happened at these parties. Micah, you know about that. Shooting, somebody getting shot, somebody shooting dice in the kitchen, right? It's wickedness, man. People coming to stun on you. Look what I got on, right? Coming in, he got the new shoes on. You kind of looking at his shoes. How you get those? People were plotting on people. Clicks in there, like 3 dudes looking at the next 3 dudes. What they doing there? You got some elder?
Stealing purses.
Yeah, women stealing, fights in the bathroom, coke. Hey, when I was in so-called college, they had these Edomites. They was in. I walked downstairs. They was smashing up their coke and mixing it with their workout powder, snorting it, man. Yeah, I said, what are you doing? They said, I don't know. We've been here since 3 a.m. yesterday. And they didn't move. They was in the same spot, looking up videos. I said, look, I got to go to class, but I'll catch up with y'all later. Oh, okay. All right? So the Lord not dealing with that, man. You think the Most High is pleased with you snorting up lines of Adderall and workout powder? And baby Tylenol and coke, right? Nose candy. The white horse, they call it the white horse back in the day. Right? They had the song with the white horse, man. She rode the white horse and she couldn't get off. All right, that might be ahead of brother's time. That's what was that, Nice and Smooth? Sometimes around slow, sometimes around quick.
Yeah, he know about that. That's a little older.
D'Angelo, Brown Sugar.
Yep.
Right, he's singing about heroin.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I just ruined that song for you. There you go, brother. Yeah.
Yep.
Talking about
eyes bloodshot red.
Right, she got a sister named Chocolate Tie. I hit her on my tongue go numb. Yeah, they make these songs, man. But yeah, back to the parties, man. The parties is where the most wickedness happened, man. And we used to live for the parties, Friday nights and Saturday nights. The scriptures say those are the ways of the Gentiles, man. Right, we was walking in the ways of the Gentiles, thinking it was fun, thinking it was having the time of our life. Let's go to Deuteronomy 26. Right, and we're gonna go to verse I want to start 16. Right, all that is dead and gone, man. That's the old man. He's buried 12 feet deep. Right, he's in a double grave. We're not bringing that old man back. We're not getting no nightlife. Right, we're not partying. Right, all that is done, man. Right, Deuteronomy. I got it. This day, Deuteronomy 26 and 16. I'll start at 26 and 16. This day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do thy statutes and judgment. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God. Right? Once you came into this truth, you made an oath with the Lord that he's going to be your God. You're going to serve him wholeheartedly with truth and sincerity. Right? That's a blood covenant right there. So like, thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God, and to walk in his ways and to keep his statutes, his commandments, his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. Right? So you made a blood sacrifice. Once you sign that contract, say like you buying a car, and you sign the contract, you can't say, man, I'm not going to pay this car note for the next 3 months. They're going to come and take that car from you in an instant, man. You're going to park it 5 blocks away. They still going to find it, man. Same thing with the Lord. You avouched your soul, man. You're not treating it right. You're not serving the Lord right. What's he going to do to that soul? He's going to come and take it back. Right? He's going to cut you off in the land of the living, man. You made this blood oath. No going back in the world and doing these things that we listed. Go and read Romans, the first chapter, right? 20 on down, right? And see if you fit any of those characteristics, man. If you do, you better get to repenting and asking for mercy, man. Because right now ain't the time to be playing. World War III is about to pop off. Right, you got Russia over there in the Ukraine. They got the borders set up. You ain't getting in, you ain't getting out. Like, all hell is about to break loose, man. This ain't the time to be playing. This ain't the time to be partying, chasing after Keisha in the short skirt. Right, it's the time to be repentant, getting your household in order, asking the Lord for forgiveness, asking the Lord to guide your steps correctly so you can be part of the elect, Lord willing.
I got a quick precept. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 2. Yeah, like the brother said, man, World War III is about to kick off. I mean, does the average brother know what's going on? You ask, if we took a poll, we went up to Pendon North, Lexington Market, Greenmount, 33rd, and we start Park Heights, and we had a microphone in the film crew and said, what do you think about World War III with Ukraine and Russia? How do you feel about Vladimir Putin's policies? What do you think they're going to say? They're not going to, well, they don't know what that means. They're not going to say, like, they will say, what are you talking about? They might fight you. What do you mean you calling me Putin, right? They might try to fight you because you think you're calling them Putin, man. Nobody knows about World War III. You had a point with Tanya?
Yeah, real quick, I asked my cousin what you think about World War III. He said, I don't think it's going to happen.
You see that? Right, you see that? So let me get this in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 2. It reads, for ye know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Yahushua. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not God. So we have to know how to possess our vessels in honor, man, and sanctification. We're a holy vessel. The Lord has chosen us to be his people. The Lord didn't choose everybody, man. Right? He chose the children of Israel, and he's dealing with them from the Genesis, or from Genesis all the way to Revelation, man. From the beginning to the end. So we as men have to know how to possess our vessels in honor. Meaning you have to have discipline. That's what the Lord is telling you. Right? You have to have discipline as men, and you have to have integrity, man. Right? You have to know when to look the other way, how much is too much. You have to know how to control yourself and have moderation and temperance. These are words that we have to add to our vocabulary and apply. Temperance, moderation, patience, right? Possessing your vessel as in honor. When it comes to the dietary law, when it comes to dealing with your household, right? You was getting something.
Yeah, somebody said that China just attacked Taiwan. I'm trying to see.
So we trying to see. You see that? All right. So they told America, you better not come in and deal with this, man. Let us deal with Taiwan. America said, no, we're going to defend Taiwan. China said, if you come and deal with Taiwan, we're going to attack you. Right? America said, look, we'll see about that. Right? So we'll see what happens, man. Right? Then you have, like the brother says, like you have Russia and Ukraine. Right? Crimea. You have all these events happening on the earth. Right? If we were to go through and check off every prophecy, brothers would be confounded, man. I don't believe in the Bible. The white man was black, right? I don't believe that Jesus is a white man, right? I'm a Moor. We had a brother tell me. I remember the elders was there. He was a Baltimore. Right? You know how brothers say that they are Moor, but he said he was a Baltimore, right? So guess what? He's not going to make it, man.
And brothers don't realize it's happening simultaneously, man. You can't fight two wars at one time, right? If you're going to put all into one, none into none, you can't split it in half, man. Right? This is like I said, man, people are playing checkers in the times you should be playing chess, man. Right? You should be looking and watching these prophecies unfold before your eyes, right? Getting your soul together, man, because once them bombs hit, once Esau cracked down and start running up on us and gunning us down, Lord willing, none of that happened to us in this room or anybody watching, man. But it's gonna happen. You're gonna see more death than you've seen in movies and video games combined, man. Go ahead, King.
You see that video of the Edomites saying he's coming for us? So
Yeah, he was in the woods, man.
Yeah.
They know what's up. They training these kids up from when they could barely walk to shoot guns, man. And what are we showing them? Jordans, Nikes, how to roll blunts,
2K.
right? 2K, how to talk to a girl. Man, we ain't showing them how to survive in these times. Go ahead, Elder.
And
Yeah. And if you putting your trust in a weapon, man, you're gonna die. Right? A gun runs out of bullets, man. Right? You don't have an innumerable amount of bullets, man. So you put your trust in a weapon, you're gonna die. Because now you putting your trust in a carnal thing, and the Lord he gonna cause it to fail in your hands. Anybody you about to say something? Okay, God.
So we back in
First Peter
chapter 4,
verse 4.
Ants lucky.
The last part of 1 Peter 4 and 3 is abominable idolatries, like Christmas parties. Like your job may say, come to the Christmas party. All hell break loose in the Christmas party, man. Right? They bring the mistletoe. You gotta kiss old Nancy, right? Old Nancy drunk. She got the little cup in her hand. Come on, she been eyeing you from day one. Hey, there's a lot of nasty stuff that happen in them Christmas parties, man. If your job to go to a Christmas party, guess what? You don't go. Right? All hell breaks loose there, man. Right? Your boss kind of checking you out. He's drunk. He had too much to drink. People go to work Monday, act like nothing ever happened, man. People at Christmas party, but you can do what you want to do in that Christmas party. HR is doing anything in a Christmas party, right? You can't bring up no accusations on HR because they causing all hell in a Christmas party, right? So that's abominable idolatry. When you go to what's the auntie name? Auntie
Susie.
No.
Auntie Susie.
Come on, man. What she say? Auntie Loretta. Right? That's the right one. Right? Auntie Loretta, right? If you Auntie Loretta's Thanksgiving festivities and her New Year's, that's abominable idolatry. Everybody getting drunk on New Year's. Everybody order all of the wings, right? They got, Jake, you love the wings. And Eve, she want all flats. Make sure it's all flats. Ranch and the blue cheese, right? That's an abominable idolatry, man. Right? When the ball going drop, right? You put the glasses on and say 2022, right? We got to come out of the world, man. Those are things that you were taught is your traditions. Because you don't have any traditions in America. The only traditions you have is what the society give you. That's why you celebrate 4th of July and Mother's Day and Father's Day and New Year's and Thanksgiving and Flag Day and Columbus Day, because you don't have your own. So you accept what America gives you. But when you come to the knowledge of the Lord, you do have your own. You have the Passover. You have the Feast of Dedication. You have the dietary law. You have the commandments. This is yours, man. I can't think of the last time I celebrated 4th of July. What was we doing 4th of July? You asked the average brother, what were you doing 4th of July 1776? When these old nasty white men was signing. So you got John Hancock. He had the big signature. And you had, you was out there getting beat, man, in the cotton field. And your auntie was getting raped in the big house, right? And your son was being sold to a plantation in Texas. And he said, Dad, where am I going? You told him, it'll be okay, son. That's what you were doing July 4th, 1776. But now when it come around, you want to get the potato. Who got the potato salad? Who gonna be on the grill? Oh, I'm gonna just throw something on the grill. For what, brother? Right? I just want to throw something on the grill. Right? No, this is stop being like the so-called white man and return back to the Lord.
And don't do it to please your family members, man.
Right.
Don't say I'm not celebrating, but I'm going. Right? Don't do that, man. That's abominable because you participated in it, man. Right? This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Right? Flee out of the midst of Babylon. I don't mean physically getting out of America, right? Because now you got to have cards and stuff, right? We can't say it no more, but y'all know what's up, right? You got to have cards to get up out of here, right? You can't do that, man. You got to flee spiritually, man. Get your soul right with the Lord, man. Right? It ain't no time to be playing. Ain't no time to be entertaining these demons and these spirits and these things that are bringing you down, man. Flee from out of the midst of Babylon. Right? Stop letting your sins lift themselves up, man. That's what's causing a lot of brothers to wax worse and worse and worse than it's truth. Right? And you see it day in and day out. Brothers is waxing worse and worse and worse and worse, man. Don't be that brother waxing worse, man. This is a brotherhood, man. Reach out if you falling short. Right? Ain't nobody gonna judge you and say, what are you calling me for, man? You know I don't like you. Brothers is like, look, man, when you want to fast? What you want to do, man? How we going to attack this demon together, man? We going to jump this demon, man. And he ain't never going to come back through the spirit of the Most High if it be his will. Right? Verse 7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right? The nations are mad, man. Everybody, man, I had a Indian friend when I was in middle school. He used to always come back to school fresh after we had the winter vacation. His name was Rajveer, right? He used to have all the nice Jordans and stuff. You remember Rajveer? Yeah. Oh, he used to wear the joint on his head. Not the turban. What's it called? Is it a turban?
Something like
Man,
that.
he was celebrating Christmas, man.
Right.
Why is he celebrating Christmas? 4th of July. Right? All the earth is drunken with Babylon's philosophies, man. Everybody's drunk with the so-called white man's philosophies, his holidays, his doctrines, right? We so bugged out that we hugged the woman that ran up in the man's house and killed him when he was eating ice cream.
Yep. Washed their hair.
Brushed their hair, giving it. Look how destroyed our people are, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I got a quick precept.
Let's go to Proverbs 23 and 29. Yeah, that was sad. You had the whole family. I'm sorry, I forgive you. They was brushing her hair.
The brother gave her a hug.
Yep.
If somebody killed my brother, man, Salaki, I'm not gonna get carnal, but if somebody killed my brother, it's gonna take the Most High to stop me from because you're gonna lose it, man. That's like a piece of you being lost, man. But that's what coming to this truth. You know that vengeance is of the Lord, right? I'm not hugging anybody who killed my family, whether it be blood, whether it be family through this truth. I'm not hugging you, man. We have no reason to talk. We have no reason to touch, man. And I'm gonna see you when I see you. If it be the Lord's will, if you have ears to pick that up.
That's right.
Let's go to Proverbs 23 and 29. Right? So our people are drunk, and we're not talking about Hennessy, man. You got brothers with Hennessy socks on, right? Henny things possible, right? Henny, what are you doing today? Right? They just add Henny into everything, man. Right? This drunk that we're speaking about is a spiritual drunk, right? You're spiritually drunk off of the philosophies and the customs and the ways of Babylon the Great. So let's go to Proverbs 23 and 29. It reads, now this is a list of rhetorical questions, right? Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? So what people experience these traits? They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. And you see people like that, right? People that are drunk, they'll be catching hell, right? They'll have contentions and sorrow. You might have a brother, he drink and he get drunk. Every time he drink, he crying, right? Confessing things that happened to him when he was 5 years old, right? He's sobbing, right? He always needs a shoulder to cry on. You got brothers that they're angry drunks. There's always a fight, man. They get real loud. You can't control them. Who have contentions? Who have babbling? There's brothers that can't stop their mouth from talking when they drinking. Hey, I love you, my friend, man. Remember that time? It's always that brother, man. Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Right, brother might have got into a fight. Don't know what happened. He woke up. I got a black eye. Right, his knuckles all bleed. What happened last night? Right? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? They that tarry long at the wine, and they that go to seek mixed wine. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth this color, and the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder. So you have actual wine that does these things, but you have the spiritual wine that does these things too, right? And that wine, it'll sneak up on you. You might have a cup or two next thing you know, like, damn, I kind of feel it. I'm kind of, You said what, brother?
He said that damn Taylor port.
Yeah. You're drinking some nasty Taylor port, man. Right? It'll sneak up on you, right? Just like if you entertain the serpent or you entertain the society and you accept their ways, next thing you know, you're stung, you're bitten. And when you're poisoned by a serpent, it's not an immediate death. It's a slow death, man. Slow asphyxiation, right? Slow your blood clot up, your heart can't produce, and you slowly die. So likewise with our people who entertain the ways of this society, it's a slow death. It's a slow, painful death. Verse 33. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. That happens on a literal level, right? When you drunk, you have brothers, they start saying wild stuff they would never say sober, man. And they start, it says, thine heart shall behold strange women. Right now, everybody's attractive when you're drunk, right? Big women, Edomites, midgets, tall people, right? People with 3 fingers. Everybody look good when you're drunk, according to the scriptures, man. But you also have strange women, which are what? Spiritual. What are the strange women? Anybody know? On a spiritual level, what are strange women? Doctrines, philosophies. On a biblical level. This is why brothers entertain all types of philosophies. One day you want to be the Buddhist. Next year, I wonder what Islam is about. Then you want to go try to be a Christian. You want to be a Jehovah's Witness. You want to try everything under the sun because you're drunk. That's why our job is to give you living water and sober you up. Right? It says, and thine heart shall utter perverse things like I'm an African American. That's a perverse thing. I'm a black man. Black is a color out of a crayon box. There's no nation called black. We can't travel to the land of black. There's no native language or heritage with being an African American. That was invented in the 80s. Right? The term African American was invented in the 80s. So how are you an African American? How are you a black man? That's something you say when you're drunk. Right? Brothers should say, look, we Israelites, man. That's what the Lord called us. Right? Verse 34. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. Meaning you'll be confused, dizzy, and bugged out, going every other doctrine instead of coming back to the Most High. These are the effects of being spiritually drunk with the wine of America that Amos was bringing up. So you want to abstain from this wine, right?
We go back to 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 4. Right, abstain from the wines of Babylon. Especially you brothers in the truth, man. Satan gonna come hard in these last days, man. Right. And that goes into false doctrines in this truth as well, man. Don't get sifted out listening to a brother tell you that, what's the crazy? You have to be physically baptized to get the kingdom or something like that, man.
Right.
Right? Prove all things is what you should say. Right. Verse 4, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
Yeah. When you come out of everything we just named, Christmas parties, festivities, being in the world, people are going to start to think it's strange that you don't do those same things anymore. Right? And my mother called me, why you don't celebrate Mother's Day? You could at least call me. Or the Lord, Mother's Day goes back to paganism, huh? Right? We're not into paganism anymore. We follow the commandments. Well, you should at least call respectfully. You said respectfully, we'll look, I don't celebrate Mother's Days in the Bible. And they'll think it's strange that you don't call her on Mother's Day no more. Right? How come you don't celebrate Christmas? I went in your house, you didn't have a Christmas tree up. That's weird, right? What's gotten into you? Well, the scriptures say, look, we don't celebrate Christmas. We have the Feast of Dedication. That goes back to ancient Babylonian customs and the worship of Nimrod. Hey, check it out. You should look into it. Here's Jeremiah 10 and 1 on down. So this is how we deal, with the world now. They'll start to think it's strange, man. What do you mean you don't smoke cigarettes anymore? Right? You used to chain smoke. What happened to you? You're not coming on break and smoking? No, look, 1 Corinthians 3:16, look, we don't defile our temple anymore. We're holy. I fasted, I prayed, I'm trying to keep the commandments. So this is how we have to deal with the people of the world, because now they'll think it's strange that you don't indulge yourself in the same sense. Why do you dress like that? What's that on your head? You got a towel on your head? You're an Arab now? Right? No, this is a Mitri. Look, this is what our forefathers wore. Abraham wore it, Moses, Isaac, Jacob were Israelites. But what's that on the bottom of your shirt? And you have the little tassels hanging down. What's that carpet on your shirt? Oh, those are fringes. Numbers 15 and 38. Hey, look into it. These are the commandments. So even your appearance on the spiritual level, they'll think it's strange, man. You got a point with that?
Real quick, Mo, but I work with, he saw my friend, he said that a pajama on a shirt.
You see that? See that? So they think it's strange that you're keeping God's commandments. And they notice, you got a precept. Let's go real quick to Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. They can see the difference in you, right? You talk different. Your mannerisms may be different. You understand? Because you're glowing through the spirit, right? Wisdom maketh the man's face to shine. All right, let's get that in Ecclesiastes 8 and 1.
Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 1. Who is as the wise man? Who have known the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed.
See that? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. Not literal, like you got a whole bunch of Vaseline on, but the spirit. You can look at it, but something different about this brother, man. This brother got a little more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? This brother has a little bit more prudence. What's got? It's the Lord's wisdom. Right? It's not something that you can get from Harvard University, from their best library, and a top shelf with an ancient, dusty book that some old, nasty white man wrote. Right? That can't give you wisdom. Right? That can give you the secular knowledge. It can, give you some information, but wisdom is different than what the so-called white man. Like the Lord, this man said, you got to be smart. What did the Lord say that anybody was smart in the Bible? Oh, Moses is a smart man, right? He's clever. He has a high IQ. Did King David take the IQ test, right? Or Solomon? Solomon, he had to sit there and take the so-called white man's test. And what is shit? You got the test. What shape is missing? Doesn't belong. You have to sit there and try to figure out. That's not wisdom, man. Right? True wisdom is keeping the Lord's commandments. Right? Applying the Most High's knowledge, man. Loving your nation, that's wisdom. Because you can learn all that from this society, and you're not taught how to love your brother. You're not taught how to deal with your household. You're not taught how to take care of yourself spiritually, man. It's a very carnal, worldly society.
Let's go to Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and 1. Right? It's a very carnal society, man. Right? Sirach chapter 19 and 1. I got it. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contendeth small things shall fall little by little. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. Right? So the way to diminish your wisdom, man, is to give into too much wine, right, and too many women, man. Right? The only woman you should be dealing with is your wife and wisdom. Right? If you don't have a wife, it should only be wisdom, man. Right? You should be in wisdom all the time. And the wine, man, the only wine you should be drinking is the sound wine that the Lord gave you. Right? Don't be going and searching the things that are too deep. Right? I have brothers hit my DM all the time. Can I read this book? You ever read this book? No, brother, don't bring that to me, man. And you shouldn't be reading it. Right? And if a brother tell you not to read it, man, hearken to that counsel, man. Has anybody in this room mastered everything in the Bible? So what you dealing with other books for? Right? That's the first thing you gotta. Do you understand everything in the scriptures? They say no. You be like, then you shouldn't be reading no other books then. Right? Yeah, that's all I wanted. So wine and women that make your understanding fall little by little. And if you contended with something small, something tiny that you can talk about as a man to another man, you're gonna fall little by little too. Right? Don't let small things lift themselves up, and then you become smaller and smaller in understanding. Diminish little by little in understanding. Right? Something small can be talked about, man. Me and Knock on the heads plenty of times, man. I'm not gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna talk to him, or he gonna talk to me, and we let it be. Right? That's how it's got to be.
That's right. So we back in 1 Peter 4 and 3.
Four
and 4. Slide.
Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
Yeah. So again, your family and people, they're going to speak evil of you. Your co-workers, right? They're going to speak evil of you. Why? Because you have came out of the world, right? You are the light shining in the dark place, right?
Verse 5. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead?
Yeah, that's the Lord. He's going to judge the living and the dead.
For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to Yahweh in the spirit.
Yeah, we're judged according to men in the flesh, but we live in the spirit. Right? Man may say what they want to say to you. People always want to have something to say. Right? But we're judged according to man, but we live according to the Most High and the Spirit. Right? So let's read on.
Verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
And watch unto prayer. We just talked about prayer. Right? And we're not praying, I wish we had the poster, we're not praying to white Jesus, Caesar Borgias. All right? Thank you, Jesus. All right, thank you, Jesus. And you got a yarmulke on like a Jewish man, right? The Lord is not dealing with that. We're not sitting up there and we're praying to the rock. They pray to the rock in Mecca, man. The rock is not alive. Oh, well, a meteor fell and then Abraham didn't build that stone, man. Right? You got people that pray to the elephants, right? I saw this something on the National Geographic. They worship rats, man. It was kind of picking the rats up and it was kissing it. And they made like a goat. And they don't eat beef. A lot of Edomites, they don't eat beef. They said, well, the cow, you can't eat the cow. That's a sacred animal. It's a cow, man. All right, well, the cow has divine power. Show me. Right? Show me that cow. I'll show you the power of my stomach, man. Right? You tell me this cow has power. The cow don't have no power, man. So we worship the Lord, right? And real quick. A lot of brothers, it's hard for brothers to believe in the Lord because when we talk about the Most High, it's not something you can see. Right? You're not always going to be, that's what faith is about. Right? That's what the other nations, they cleave into tangible things. Gotta touch it. I gotta have something I have to see. Right? No, we believe in the Most High through faith. Right?
I think what just came up. Make Earth Day every day. Honor Mother Nature with inspiring backgrounds.
See, the Lord not dealing with Mother Nature.
And Earth Day. You sent the picture. They was putting cups of coffee in front of their idol, Starbucks coffee.
Yep.
In front of their the idol.
Yep. At the Moabites, they do that, right? They was given, it was a McChicken one time. My sister told me they gave him a McChicken. Right? Buddha, they give them oranges and McChickens and Starbucks. Right? They do that, man. They give that to Buddha. Oh, and I said, well, why are you doing? Oh, we have to feed Buddha. Buddha, no, he can't eat that. He's a statue. But they make it all fancy. They light the candles. They put Santa Claus next to him so we can talk to Santa Claus. They have 4 big navel oranges, and they had 2 Starbucks coffees so Buddha could eat and drink it. Right? But then they got to go pick it up at the end of the day. It makes no sense, man. The vanity that, that the nations involve themselves with. Right?
Salaki. And for you Israelites who celebrate Christmas, man, you cooking or baking the cookies, putting them out, saying, you see, he took a bite and left some.
Right.
Well, you just made cookies for yourself.
Right.
That's all you did.
Right.
You got grown people that still believe in Santa Claus. Get mad at their kids. Where's your list at? Right? We got to hurry up. Right? Sending the clock and Santa Claus, man. Milk and cookies for some old big white man breaking in your house. Right? Giving you gifts. You think the so-called white man is going to come and give you gifts? Right? He's going to come down with a big bag just for you. He got you just what you wanted to. Somehow your mail, your list, they got it, the mailman, they dropped it off at the North Pole. They sorting out the mail. He's going, then he sent it to, how do I get this guy this? How do I get little Leroy this from Brooklyn? Right? Then he got you can't believe that stuff, man. And he's flying around with the reindeers. He's aerodynamic. That's some type of technology, man.
It's in the perfect package.
You don't have an engine. Right? He has mastered aeronautics, right? He don't need no type of suit on. He can travel in all of the elements. He can fit in every chimney.
Slaving midgets.
And he get it done right on time. Yeah, he's a slave master. He's enslaving midgets. And he get it done right in time. Right? You never catch him. Right? He get it done. He is stealth mode. He knows when you sleep. Brother know the whole song back there. You know when you awake, man. And I think they tell you got to be good for goodness. They say you better be good, man. And he might give you a black coat. Right? You see that? The Lord not dealing with Santa, man. Right? You had a point, brother? See that? Spell Santa backwards, man. Right? Well, it's not sleep, but if you mix it up in there, I know what you're talking about, brother. I know the point the brother was making, right? You kind of mix it up in there, man. They kind of, replace one letter with the next letter, right? So let's read that again first. And these things, when you think about it, it makes no sense.
It's laughable.
It's laughable. Easter bunny. People just celebrated Easter. Do Easter bunnies lay eggs? What do the Easter bunny have to deal with the Bible? Why is every Christian celebrating Easter? You got the kids out there painting the eggs. You got to go chase the eggs. Where is that at in the scriptures? You got to put on your big suit, Every person got to put on your best suit. They call it Easter best. Somebody said on the comment board, Santa come in and kiss your wife, man. While you sleep. See that? Oh, that's a song? Oh, yeah. You see that? That's wicked, man. Right? But you got the Easter bunny laying around. Look up the origins. The Easter bunny goes back to Ishtar, the Babylonian fertility goddess. Right? And Tammuz. Right? That when you look up the origins of why people do what they do, like the brother said, is laughable. It makes no sense to follow the ways of the other nations. From Easter to Christmas to Halloween. What does that have to do with the scriptures? Right? That's what the Lord gave us our own thing. We have our own holy days. We have our own customs. We don't follow the vanity of the Gentiles. So we can go back to that, King. 1 Peter 4 and 7.
But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
Yeah, and watch unto prayer. Let's go to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Watch unto prayer. All right, let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and verse 2. And quick, backtracking real quick. You don't think about that stuff when you're in the world. You never question it. You never question the origin of Christmas. You never question Halloween. You never question Easter. You just go with it. Right? You're just drunk. Right? But we have to wake up in these last days. Revelation chapter 3 and 2. Right? The book of Revelation chapter 3 and 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before the Most High. So being watchful, meaning what? What does that mean, be watchful? Be aware, be circumspect. Of what in this context? About your spirit, right? Strengthen the things that are ready to die, right? You may have a certain, like I used the example, it may be how you pray. That's about the Most High is about to take your Holy Spirit from you. You have to strengthen that member of your spiritual walk. Strengthen your prayer life, man. Strengthen your fasting life. These are all the things that are ready to die. Strengthen how you deal with your household, or the Most High can take it away from you. It's about to die. You don't get your household in order. Strengthen your spirit, man. Study more. The Most High going to take all the precepts away from you, man. You have to sit there and strengthen yourself, right? You have a disease, it's like a physical ailment, muscular dystrophy. Brothers know about that when your muscles slowly fade away. They slowly fade away. And if you don't go through like a physical rehab, or you don't constantly kind of work out a little bit, your muscles are gone and you can't get them back. You have to pay attention and say, okay, look, I feel myself getting thin on this side. I got to strengthen that. People that work out, they do that all the time. Okay, my leg's getting weak. It's leg day. Because they know their legs are getting weak. Or they'll say it's chest day. They'll strengthen their chest. Right? You have to strengthen each part of your body in this thing, man. Right? And your body is divided up into different members. So like I said, it could be fasting, it could be praying, it could be anything, studying. Right? It could be giving counsel, getting counsel. You have to sit there and watch and see which part of you is lacking and strengthen it, so the Most High can find you perfect in the last days.
Yeah, so I work with elderly people, and I know some people whose hands are kind of stuck like this.
Yeah. You see that? And there was a time when they could move it, man. And there was a time, and that could have been prevented. Sometimes if you don't, catch it before it's too late, it's over, man. Right? You might go 2 days without praying. It's over. Next thing you know, you don't even feel like praying no more. And you're going to go back into the world, man. You have to constantly be watchful and strengthen the things that are ready to die, right? Otherwise, it can happen overnight, right?
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
Yeah, brothers know what charity is. That's not always financial, right? Charity is like what we're doing right now. This is charity, right? This is love. You don't have to be a philanthropist at the top Forbes 500 to give charity, right? Charity is what? Just showing love to your brethren, right? It could be financial. I can see Michael in hard times. Kind of give Michael, 28. Michael, hold on to that, right? He said, well, why you give me a look? Hold on to that. That's you. That can be charity. Charity can be, look, I call the brother at 2 a.m. and say, hey, brother, look, what you doing? I'm not watching TV. Look, let's go over some scriptures. That's charity, right? Charity could be calling the brother, hey, brother, I'm going to send you a few precepts. That's charity. Have fervent charity. Fervent meaning to be on fire. And that'll blot out a multitude of sins, So not only does repentance blot out a multitude of sins, but also charity as well.
Use hospitality one to another without grudging.
Yeah, and a lot of brothers, we're not hospitable, right? People of the world, you have an evil eye, man. 9 times out of 10, you walking out in Baltimore, your own brother look at you. Is he going to ask you how you doing? Do you need something? How's your family? Right? No, he going to mean mug you, size you up, see what you got on. Then he's going to kind of look what he got on. Then he's going to want what you want, man. And he's not going to ask, he's going to take it from you. Then people going to plot on you. People stealing rims and tires, your license plate, right? That's not hospitality, man. Right? You tell the brother you thirsty. So what? I'm thirsty too, right? That's not being hospitable. Hospitable is, again, showing love to your brother, right?
Yeah, go ahead. She can come in. Come. Verse 10. And every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Yahweh. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shah Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Right. So the Lord said, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. And that's something that we do that when I was growing up in church that they didn't do. Right? They tell stories in church. You might hear one verse and a whole lot of music and the money plate go around, but you don't hear a lot of scriptures. You don't hear them break it down. Church is to have a good time. People in there catching the Holy Spirit, right? Tapping their feet, right? No, that's not the Holy Spirit, man. I remember at the church I went to, this was on the east side of Detroit, we had old women in there rolling around on the floor, man. And you young, you're trying to figure, what is this? Oh, that's the Holy Spirit, baby. Man, that's not the Holy Spirit, man. Yeah, pastor there, got the seat sweating, screaming. But God said. And then he didn't open up the Bible not one time to show me what the Lord said, man. My great grandmother was the pastor at my church, man. She used to tell the stories about how they used to churn milk down south. That's the best we got. Y'all don't have real milk. She used to be like, y'all never tasted real milk before, have y'all? Right? You never had real cheese, right? The Lord not dealing with that, man. The Lord don't care if you never had real milk or real cheese before. The Lord want to see if you keeping the commandments. Shalom, okay?
Shalom.
The Lord want to see if you keeping the commandments, man. So when we, more than likely, if you have just come out of the church, you have heard more verses today than you have ever heard your pastor bring up. Right. Hey, man, Joel Osteen, he does not open up the Bible. Hey, they tried to make me watch Joel Osteen. I said, I'm not watching this creepy white man. Right?
Popoff.
Yeah, man. What's his name? Pastor Popoff.
Peter
Popoff. Kearney Thomas. What's that other man? T.D. Jakes. Right? They don't open up the scriptures. All right? They don't open up the Bible and break it down. Our job is to open up the scriptures and actually explain to you what the Bible is saying. That's why one brother reads, or I may read, and he'll break it down. We're not just going to read it and then tell you how we feel. We have to rightly divide the word of truth. So if any man is speaking, if any man is going to break the scriptures down to you or talk about the Most High, he should be proven out of the Bible. If he's not coming out the Bible to validate what he's saying, you can't believe it. Right? And it reads, if any man minister, let him do it as if the ability which the Most High giveth. Meaning, if you are teaching, don't do more. I'm trying to say, don't bite off more than you can chew.
Don't go above your pay grade.
There you go. Don't go above your pay grade, right? Because you may come in this truth and only know so little. Don't try to break down everything if you can't break down everything. You're going to get somebody jammed up. That's like you training for a job and a guy training, you ask him, well, what does this mean? Here, let me show you. Then he blow up the whole machine, right? He shouldn't have tried to. If you don't know it, you don't know. If you do know, you do know. So again, it's like if anybody's talking about the scriptures, they should be proving it out of the Bible.
Right. Sirach chapter 3 and 25. Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. Right. Don't try to be overly deep. Right. right? Don't try to speak and confound people. Like, that's pointless, man. If I'm talking to you about the scriptures, I'm gonna make myself like you. Like, I don't know it. We're gonna talk on the same matter, right? We're gonna use building blocks like Legos. You got a base block, you got the next block, we're gonna get to the same point together. We're gonna walk these stairs together, man. Don't profess a knowledge you don't have, man.
Right.
Speaking of things you don't have no clue you're talking about. Right? Trying to go into I don't know, something deep.
Yeah.
Try to break down Daniel 11.
Right.
Can't even break down Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
So, yeah, profess not the knowledge you have.
That's right.
Right, back to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, the 12th verse. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahweh's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
See that? So the Lord said, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you. Because a lot of brothers, you may be going through something right now when it's true. You think you're the only one that's going through it. You're the only one that has ever been going through what you're going through. Nobody else has. You're the first one. No, don't think it's strange, man. You might have got jammed up. You might be getting mocked at your job because you're wearing your fringes now. You're not the only one that's going through that, man. Plenty of brothers go through that, man. Right? And there was one brother who used to be part of the camp. His wife told him, if you could choose me or choose that Bible. Right? And he chose the Most High. Right? And he's not the only one that had to make that decision. A lot of brothers I know they have to make decisions on, what do you hold, what's important to your integrity and to your values. Do you want to let go of your integrity? Do you want to let go of righteousness? Or do you want to conform to what somebody else is giving you? Right? So as men, you can't let go of your integrity. Right? That's what defines a man, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and having integrity, man. Right? So again, the fiery trial that we go through, it may be hot, right? It may be painful, but you got to deal with it. Right? And not only do you have to deal with it, the Lord said you got to rejoice, which is strange to somebody. Right? What do you mean I have to rejoice when I'm catching hell? What do you mean I have to rejoice? I got fired from my job for keeping the Sabbath day. What do you mean I have to rejoice? Right? Because the other women are mocking me because I don't wear tight clothes anymore. I wear modest apparel. You know why you have to rejoice? Anybody know? What do you say, brother? I mean, in a sense, but not necessarily.
Because it lets you know that you're doing the right thing.
I mean, in a sense. But it tells you in the same verse. Yeah, it increases your faith and patience. All right, but let's see what it says. Right? Verse 13. But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers, right, of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad with exceeding joy. So why do you rejoice? Because the same thing that you're going through, the Lord went through. Right? The Lord went through everything you're going through. His family reviled or came against him. His own people wanted to throw him off a cliff headlong, man, for teaching the word. So you rejoice because you're a partaker of what the Lord can go through, man, or what the Lord went through, rather. All right?
God. This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 38. Right, Matthew 10 and 38. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. Right? So you got to take your cross, man. Whatever the lot that the Lord gave you, got to take it. Right? You got to be joyful. You got to walk the walk that the Lord gave you to walk. Giving all praise and honor to him. Right? He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loses his life for my sake shall find it. Right? So don't try to hold on to your benefits in the world that you feel that you can have 1 foot in the world and 1 foot out. Because you're going to end up losing everything, man. Right? Lose it all, and the Lord will give it back to you tenfold, man. Right? If it not be in this life, it'll be in the kingdom. Lord willing, man. Right? That's the mind frame that our brothers got to have, man. Right? We had it in the world. Everything was cool in the world. You ain't had no problems. But now you come to the truth, all hell break loose. Man, lose it. Lose your life for the Lord, man. It's no better reason to lose your life than for the Lord. And that's real. Right, back to 1 Peter chapter 4 and 14. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yahweh resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, as a busybody in other men's matter.
Yeah, so if you catching hell in this truth, it should be for the right thing. Right? You can't be sitting there saying a damn stealing out of H&O and say, yeah, God is dealing with me. I'm catching hell. I'm getting locked up. No, brother, stop stealing from H&O. That's not nothing to rejoice about, man. Right? So you have righteous affliction, then you have judgment. And a wise man's heart can discern between time and judgment. When the Most High is chastising him to build him up, and when the Most High is judging him for his wickedness, man. When bad things happen in your life, sometimes it's to build you up, and sometimes you going to hell off, man. And you being wicked. And you got to sit there and examine yourself and say, what am I doing according to the commandments? And you find yourself, okay, I'm breaking this commandment. I'm breaking this commandment. Okay, I'm doing this wrong. That's why things aren't happening the way I want them to happen, man. Right? So you have to always examine yourself according to the law and according to the scriptures. All right?
Verse 16, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, let him glorify Yahweh on this behalf.
Yeah, and when it says Christian, it's not talking about T.D. Jakes types Christian, right? The word Christian in the Greek, it just means anointed. Christos, it means anointed, right? It's not talking about slave plantation Christianity, right? That's not what it's talking about. They didn't even have that concept back in the ancient times. The whole image and ideology of Christianity today is effeminate. Is effeminate, is what's another word? Is docile, right? It's real hypocritical, right? These are key terms that I can think of that come with modern day Christianity. You got the face of the big white Jesus, and every time you watch the white Jesus movies, he's real soft spoken. Hey, how you doing? I'm here to check. I'm trying to give you these miracles. Hey, but when you read in the Bible, the Lord is a austere man. Well, let me get that real quick in Luke 19. Yeah, you watch that movie Passion of the Christ. Oh, that's how Jesus must be. Walking around with his hood on and all that. That's not in the scriptures, man. Don't let Mel Gibson show you how the Lord is, man.
Salaki, everybody who watched that movie in here felt some type of sorrow watching that too. You be lying if you say you didn't, man.
Right.
You be lying if you say you didn't. You felt sad. You want to shed a tear. Now imagine that actually being the Lord. How many tears you actually will shed?
Yeah, imagine the masses of people watching that movie and they actually portrayed him as being a black man. How many white people will cry over that?
Right.
Right? How many people will actually shed a tear over that? He deserves that. He must have been a thief. That nigga. Right? That's what they would have said, man, because the Lord he looked like us. Right? He was a dark-skinned man. Right? So if he was on the earth right now, they'll call him a black man.
Right.
He might get stopped and frisked. If he drove, he might get pulled over. Right? But now Mel Gibson taught you all about the Lord. Right? Have him speaking Aramaic, and now you think that's Jesus. Right? That's why we have to get our minds right and actually read what the scriptures are saying. Because he's the complete opposite of what Hollywood shows you, man. Right? Let me get this in Luke chapter 19. I want to show you about the Lord real quick. Luke chapter 19 and verse 22. I'm going to do 22. All right? This is the book of Luke chapter 19 and 22. This is what the Lord said, right? And his name is not Sweet Jesus. For brothers that just came in or sisters that just came into this truth or anybody new online, we have to break the news to you, let you know his name is not Jesus. I remember they had the movie, they was praying to baby Jesus, man. They had it was Will Ferrell. They said, thank you, baby Jesus. Yeah, Talladega Nights, man. We wanted to thank baby Jesus. And the Lord, his real name is Yahweh Shah. There's no letter J in the Hebrew. All right? His name's Yahweh Shah. So let's read this in Luke 19 and 22. And he said unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee.
So like you want to read up one?
Yeah, I'm going to read up. Okay, this is Luke chapter 19. I'm going to read 20.
Okay.
All right? This is my favorite parable. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to start at 20. Long story short, you can read it on your own. Yahweh Shah told these men, go out there and teach and do the work. Certain men performed that task and they did the work. One brother, he had the knowledge, he didn't do nothing with it. So he's about to see what the Lord got to say about it. And another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. Meaning that's a parable for this brother received the knowledge of the Most High, but he didn't do nothing with it. right? For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Mikey, can you look up the word austere? This is the attribute given to the Lord, right? He's an austere man, and takest up that thou laidest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. So let's see what the word austere means, and see if Mel Gibson showed the Lord as this with this characteristic. He's known for being an austere man. All right.
Definition is severe or strict in manner.
Severe or strict in manner. Not the guy, how you doing? Where's the little child? Please sit on my lap. That's not the Lord, man. He's severe and strict in manner. Very serious, man. Rarely smiles. Ain't nothing to smile about. What do you have to smile about? He knew he was about to die. He had to deal with Judas Iscariot. He in captivity under the white man, under the Roman Empire. They about to crucify him and kill him. He's bringing up charges on him he didn't do. He got to deal with his own wicked people. His family's against him. Ain't too much to smile about, man. He's an austere man. Another scripture in Matthew 25, he's called a hard man, right? So the Lord is that's what they call an angry black man. You know, you're at your job, they say, why are you always angry? What's wrong with you? Why don't you smile a little bit? Brothers know about that. Why are you always angry, right? They would have said that to the Lord, man. Why are you always angry? Why don't you brighten up a little bit, right? They might bring you to HR, say you're making everybody, you're threatening everybody, right? We go through stuff like this at work, man. Your beard is threatening everybody. We don't feel too comfortable about it. You just cut that beard down, right? Let's do that, pal, right? But the Lord is an angry man.
Keep going.
Let's sit on that.
You want to jump to 27?
Con. Oh yeah, let's do that.
Con. Jump down to verse 27 or 26. For I say unto you that unto every one which have shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he has shall be taken away from him.
Yeah, meaning, look, everyone that hath shall be given. Meaning, everybody that has the knowledge of the Most High and they're being profitable with it, the Lord is going to increase you. If you're not doing nothing with it, the Lord is going to take that away from you.
Verse 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
No, kiss them 2 times.
And slay them before me.
See what the Lord said? They don't tell you that in church. Right. The Lord said, my enemies, the people who don't want me to reign over them, line them up for me and kill them in front of me. That's what the Lord said, man. How can we just say, I love you and I love you and the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and a kiss for you? He's not dealing like that, man. Right? And he's a loud man too. Tell you that's the voice of many waters. And he's telling you, my enemies, bring them up and slay him before me. The people who did not want him to reign over him. This is an austere man. Right? That's how we know the scriptures are for us. Right? Because this is more like us. We as a people, we're more of an austere type of people. And we're more of a serious type of people, man, especially the Israelite man. Right? But when you watch these movies in Hollywood, they always got him as a white man walking around tiptoe. Real soft spoken, man. And the Lord went into the temple. Let's go to John chapter 2 and start whipping up people, man. Right? Let's get that in John, the 2nd chapter.
I got you.
John 2 and
This is the book of John, chapter 2,
13.
and I'm going to start at 13.
12.
Verse 13. I'll go to 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changes of money sitting. And we had made a scourge of small cords.
Yeah, he made a scourge. He actually made a weapon. He made a belt. He said, he's looking at these people profaning the temple. He said, I got something for you. How can we not go and pray, Lord, please save them? Right? He said, I got something for you. He sit there. You know how long it takes to make a scourge of small? You got to sit there and kind of bind it up, and you kind of meditate on what you're going to do with it. All right, so let's see what he did with this whip.
And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changes monies and overthrew the tables.
Imagine somebody walking in here whooping our ass with a belt, and they flip over the table, start knocking stuff down, huh? And chase us all out the room, huh? That's what the Lord did, man. to the people profaning the temple. He had a belt and started whipping up everybody, man, and flipping over the tables because they made their father's house a house of merchandise, man. And the zeal of his father is eating them up. That's right? So we're just giving you a few attributes and trying to break the strongholds down of modern day Christianity and how you perceive the Lord, right? Instead of going into the Bible and reading about what he actually is or what he's actually about. The Lord is merciful, right? The Lord is forgiving, but we have to go and show you the other side, right? Because people think God is just all hugs and kisses, man, right? God. Right?
Come back to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter and the 17th verse. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
So when the Lord starts judging the earth, guess who's going to get judged first? Jacob, right? The children of Israel, right? Not Esau, you busy getting on all day, and not the Moabites. When the Lord starts jamming up, he's going to start trimming off the fat. Starting with brothers in the truth, mainly starting with men that teach, right? Then after that, then the rest of the brothers in the truth, and then women in the truth. That judgment is going to befall us first, right? So if the judgment is going to befall us first, and it says the righteous shall scarcely be saved, meaning you're going to barely make it out of here. How much more for the ungodly and the wicked? For the brother who won't put down the crab legs? For the sister who won't stop twerking in the club every night, man, right? And slaying down with man to man to man. Or the people breaking the Sabbath day. Those people are going to be destroyed, right? If you have the righteous being destroyed and barely making it, how much more the wicked, man? Right?
And I got precept. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 14. Where it says, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thine forth that is driven away with storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and pass away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Right? So the wicked are going to be like you had a barbecue and the smoke from the grill hit you in the face. You don't remember that all day. That don't ruin your whole day. You're like, damn. All right, let me go back to having a good time. Right. But the righteous is going to live forevermore because we're going to be scarcely saved, right? Just barely saved from out of this turmoil. Lord willing, right? So keep that scripture in mind, man. Do you want to be remembered like a dust of charcoal, or do you want to live forevermore, right? Back to 1 Peter to end it off. Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator.
So if you're going through hell, trust in the Most High, right? That's what it's saying. Trust in the Lord, right? Stay in prayer, keep the commandments. And with that, we're going to close the lesson, right? And take a quick intermission and then do the next one. Then have the count. God, Shalom.
Shalom.